Today is a theory video, and full disclosure, it's a theory that I do not think will come true. But why cover it all? Because I actually think there is a decent amount of evidence supporting it. I could see it happening, I just think it's unlikely. And also it's fun. Today I'm going to talk about why the Katana Fleet from Star Wars Legends could appear in both the High Republic and the Mandalorian. The Katana Fleet was from the original Thrawn trilogy by Timothy Zahn. When Thrawn returns to the known galaxy after the events of Return of the Jedi, his Imperial forces are obviously much smaller than he would prefer to take on the New Republic, so he seeks out an infamous lost fleet of ships called the Katana Fleet. They were a bunch of dreadnoughts that were linked together by one nav computer. Basically, the crew went crazy and the lead ship's captain jumped them all blindly into hyperspace, and they became lost. Kinda like what happened to Thrawn and Ezra at the end of Star Wars Rebels. Thrawn eventually found the ships and claimed most of them for the Empire before the New Republic could stop him. But how did he crew all of those dreadnoughts? He started cloning again. He found a way to clone at an even faster rate than the Kaminoans, aging up his soldiers quickly so he had a large navy ready to take on the New Republic. So, why do I think all of this could become relevant to the Mandalorian and the High Republic? Let's start in the past. The High Republic takes place nearly 250 years before The Mandalorian, at a time where hyperspace technology is changing rapidly. It's specifically stated multiple times that the Republic and everyone in the galaxy uses hyperspace without fully understanding it. I think it would be a really neat connection to Legends to basically recreate the Katana Fleet. The Republic could develop these new ships in response to the Nile or whatever threat they're facing at the time, only to lose them. Then we jump forward to the time of The Mandalorian, where we know Thrawn is going to be making his big comeback. Fans have been speculating that the live-action shows could very loosely adapt the original Thrawn trilogy, and I do think that's possible. 5 years after the Battle of Endor, the Grand Admiral returns from some unknown location to wage war on the New Republic. We've seen that he might be using planets like Corvus to rebuild his fleet, but man, the Katana Fleet would be such a fun MacGuffin. And if Thrawn is low on personnel, it makes sense that he also might be looking into cloning. We saw those failed experiments in Chapter 12 of The Mandalorian, and most of the theories surrounding them have involved Snoke or Palpatine, but what if Thrawn is actually just trying and failing to find a way to clone an army quickly? There's a whole subplot in the books about why you shouldn't be able to do such a thing, basically because the Force won't allow it, so it makes some sense as to why Grogu's blood might be needed for such an endeavor. That's the gist of my theory. Everything is in place for Thrawn's live-action debut to have even more connections to his Legends history. But I still think it's all unlikely. First, the High Republic has been very disconnected from the rest of the Star Wars universe so far, to the point that I'll be very surprised if it sets up a plot point for a series. I also wouldn't want those stories to have their flow ruined for the sake of establishing things for an unrelated story, but like I said, I think the Katana Fleet could work into the plot without feeling unnatural. Second, the Katana Fleet seems a little unnecessary for Thrawn's story in the shows. It sounds like they're going with a much simpler idea of them just building ships off-screen. That works for me. As cool as I think the race to a missing fleet would be, we already kind of have that with Thrawn's own ships. Ezra whisked them all off into hyperspace at the end of Rebels. They are kind of similar to the Katana Fleet already. It might feel redundant. And as for the cloning, it probably is more likely connected to Snoke or the Emperor or something along those lines. Although that's the one thing I want to be true out of all this. If we find out they're just trying and struggling to create a new clone army, I personally like that more. But that's it. Every once in a while I get some crazy theory ideas and just want to throw them out and see how they resonate with people. Let me know what you think of this idea in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.